Welcome back, everybody. Contrary to anyone's normal conception of reality, you guys actually like this enough that we're doing another one. So this is Spaghetti Shootout number 3. If you haven't seen the other ones and you're wondering what the heck's going on, you should go back and check those out. I'm Jimmy Hamilton, the host of this odd game show type thing. And our debate team across the table from me is, of course, Mr. Mark Boardman and Mr. Ryan Muckenhern. They are going to be given a series of topics, and then it's really up to me and my point scoring abilities here with this fancy tablet in front of me to award points over the course of their arguments based on things that they say that I like. I might even be awarding points for other things that occur here. You may even notice Mark is starting off with a point. He had a very good diss on Ryan Muckenhern before the cameras really even got rolling here, so that's pretty good. I will say, though, Ryan is also going to start with a point for coming with Mark's cup that he still has to this day. Mark, you haven't really done anything to try and take that thing back.
He's got squatter's rights. He's had it for like 4 years.
Yeah. Well, speaking of drinks, we're already having a drink in the Caveat Corral here, so why don't I list a few other things. One, I'd like to thank everybody who put in their submissions for the Meatball of the Month. That's a pretty spectacular thing. You can be part of this show. You can suggest topics for debate between these two gentlemen, and we did get a lot of suggestions. Some of the favorite comments we got, I actually got emailed to us from our very own Catherine over here, who's behind the camera. Thank you very much. These are just generic comments, I will say, but we'll get into the Meatball of the Month. Watching the last one for Mark's definition of North American big game. That was totally worth the laugh.
Yeah, I didn't quite read the description.
This James here, another James actually, that last one was James as well, but as an avid follower and unpaid marketer of the podcast, this series is my favorite Vortex series. Top shelf.
Wow.
We made it.
This guy, Clinker Clint, says, please quit your day jobs and do this forever, hashtag meatballs for life. So thank you so much.
A lot of meatballs out there,
when
Jim.
he's referring to meatballs for life. So yeah, that is if you submit that topic. I'll get back on topic myself here. If you submit that topic and we choose it for these two to debate, then you're going to win some pretty cool stuff. You're going to win a Crossfire 10x42 set of binos. You're going to win a $100 Vortex gear shopping spree. That's all this fine apparel like we happen to be wearing here. And then you're also going to get a cameo from Mark Boardman himself. Not a Camaro, a cameo, for what it's worth.
Can I get a Camaro?
No.
I'll do the cameo and a Camaro.
It's not in the budget.
I want one of the SS's.
We are going to exit the Caveat Corral now onto the streets where today we'll have yet another duel. Gentlemen, are you ready?
Yes.
You're both starting off strong with 1 point. I will be a little bit more giving with the points today, I think. Last time I was very stringent. Ryan is 2-0 right now, Mark.
Yeah, how about a little more giving over here? Let's take it away.
We got some ground to make up. MC Ryan might flash up some of Ryan's stats at some point here in the edit afterwards. But all right, we're going to bring up topic number 1 without further ado. The best deterrent for burglars in your home is blank. Now, you gentlemen get the chance to argue. What's this going to be? Is it a giant ravenous dog? Is it a 1911 under the nightstand? Is it? I mean, anything. Up to your interpretation. Time begins right after I decide who's going to go first. It's going to be Ryan, who has the winning record right now. He's going to go first. But Mark,
fair enough.
He's going to put all his cards on the table first, so you can use that to your advantage. Ryan, as we know, 2 minutes begins.
Yeah.
You guys just debate.
Yeah.
Go.
In my opinion, the best deterrent to a burglar in your home is actually avoidance. If you want to avoid detection, just don't be visible. So don't have a big flashy house with the stone gargoyles and the gates and all that, and the HOA and all that kind of stuff.
Gargoyles are pretty scary.
Definitely no
Yeah,
HOA.
but they send a message like, look at my pillars of alabaster here. This is a really fancy place. Yeah, points for gargoyles are scary.
I did give him a point for gargoyles.
Okay, give him 2. Deterrence. Don't put big advertisements out there that you've got a lot of flashy stuff in your home, on your premises, in your garage, in your gun safe. And you'll avoid burglarization to the best level and degree possible. That is my opinion.
All right, pretty safe play there.
Yeah.
Mark?
All right, here's the deal. You can't pick a singular thing. This is a multi-pronged approach. One thing for sure. Let's say hopefully you never get in this situation. But if a burglar's in your house, hide your kids, hide your wives, hide your husbands too, okay? That's step number 1. Now, what you're gonna wanna do,
6 points.
What you're gonna wanna do here is you gotta do a few things. Use a deadbolt, right? And actually first, don't leave your garage open and always lock your doors. If you got a sliding glass door, put one of those little protective rods in the guides there so they can't just, these are things that you're gonna do. You're gonna have your lights on timers inside the house. You're gonna have some motion lights outside the house. But now you're gonna need, you don't need just things like that. You need to send a message, right? And that message is gonna be sent outside the house with signage. So you're gonna wanna get some of those, you're gonna go to the internet, right? And you buy some signs that say things like, we don't dial 911, we dial 1911. We don't call the cops, we call the coroner, some things like that. And you just get them, they're right on the internet.
I misunderstood the assignment. I thought it was deterrent, not deterrence.
Well, whatever, I'm going plural with this thing.
That's great.
It doesn't stop there then, Jim. You're gonna need some chalk. You're gonna make some human silhouette chalk outlines, add a little food coloring, maybe a little bit of caution tape. Off you go. Top it off with some tin cans and string. Boom, nobody's coming in.
I'm not even going to take any points away for going overtime on that because that was an absolute barrage of pretty darn good ideas.
Would you break in? Chalk outlines?
I'm not even going to consider driving by your house, just even if I was a regular, everyday, average, ordinary citizen.
No, the HOA gate guard won't let you into his neighborhood.
Oh, and a 6-point burn from
Super
Ryan.
nice guy. Super nice guy.
Great.
Is he nice? He's forcing you to do with your property what he deems good for the neighborhood. Is that nice?
Oh, I'm not talking about like the HOA stuff. I'm just talking about the guy that guards the gate.
Oh, the guy. Oh, the gate guard guy.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right, well, Ryan, I did think that just for the sake of argument there, yours seemed a bit benign compared to Mark. Granted, yes, it didn't say deterrence, plural. However, it is a little bit up to interpretation because ultimately there are no rules. I make the rules.
I understand completely.
So you got to give answers that are going to please the judge here. Yeah. With that being said, if you're just listening right now, then you can't see the fact that Mark comes away from just topic number 1 with a whopping 26 points.
I needed that.
To Ryan's 13. All right, gentlemen, we're going to move on to topic number 2. Mark, you are going to start off on topic number 2, and this is a good one. I like it. I even have a printout here to help me out with some of the background details. So I'm taking a play right out of Mark's playbook there. But is pink camouflage helping recruit new female hunters? So the kind of background that we have there, context, Wisconsin DNR introduced a bill in 2015, as I said in actually a previous Spaghetti Shootout, that's sometime in modern history, some might say, that allows hunters to wear pink camouflage instead of traditional blaze orange during firearm seasons. So this is also legal in some other states. It's a hope of the Fish and Wildlife agencies that pink camouflage is more appealing to female hunters and can be used to recruit them to get involved in the sport. Eager to hear your guys' thoughts. So, Mark, you'll begin. The 2 minutes starts right now.
Jim, I'm all for recruiting new hunters and creating new conservationists. Do I think that pink camo, pink blaze are doing that in the female sector? No, I don't. In fact, I'm actually kind of offended by it.
Click pause. You ever have one of those moments where you're thinking about two very different words and ultimately the one word that comes out of your mouth is a strange combination of the two? That's what's about to happen to Mark here in this episode of Spaghetti Shootout. Only in this particular case, the word that came out was shockingly profane. And we want to take this moment to let you know that we don't endorse this language, nor is it part of Mark's common vernacular. Simply a mistake. But you're going to want to grab your popcorn because this is one for the history books.
I mean, I think a bunch of people sat in a room, probably none of which were female, and said, my Lord, we need to recruit new female hunters. Female hunters, everybody.
Okay, we'll have a little editing to do there.
We never edit, but we will now. New female
get some points off for
hunters. And I completely imploding. I doubt anybody in the room was female. It's offensive. It's not working. Now I say, if you do like pink and you do want to wear pink camo, I'm not fully against it by any stretch of the imagination. Whatever gets you in the woods. And I don't know, man. I don't know if I can fix that.
Ryan,
Mark Boardman, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Boardman, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you get us back on track?
I think what Mark was trying to say there, and I'm going to agree with him, I think that the notion, the construct, the idea was indeed formed by some people that probably shouldn't be inputting on what it is that gets women out of doors. I find it patronizing.
Patronizing.
Yeah,
That's a good word.
I'm not going to use the word
Good word.
offensive because I think people throw I'm offended out too much these days.
Also,
Fair
good
enough.
point. Also,
I
good
know
point.
I know where your head was at on that one, and I do appreciate it. When you derailed, though, you derailed as hard as any train has fallen off the tracks
Good
that
call
anybody
out.
has ever seen in the history of time.
I nuked myself.
Yeah, correct. I don't think it's going to help
for admitting.
women recruiting into hunting, and at least not from the perspective of how to do that. And I think it is a weird deal. I think it's a little strange. And again, patronizing is the best thing that I can think of when I'm thinking of this.
Patronizing.
Like, oh, look, you can wear pink and hunt deer.
Yeah, now you can. Now you have permission.
Well, gentlemen, I'll say that was, there's that whip crack. That was one of those examples where you two actually did agree on something. I would even say that I agree with what you're saying. It does seem like a bit of just a lame
I mean,
attempt.
really, of
What are we
all the
gonna do?
things,
Oh,
like, that's
just-
what-
Yeah, a new color. Oh, that'll do it. I'll tell you what.
Problem
Those
solved.
women are suckers for pink. That's what they're saying.
That's what they've been lacking. That's what they needed.
That's the only
just
thing.
needed the-
So, anyway,
pink to push
ladies,
'em over the edge.
we know there's more substance there than just throwing pink at you. All right. Hey.
I think this goes, you know what, I know we're going long. I mean, this goes for pistols and whatever, right? Like, I mean, it's just,
Now,
All right.
hey, one thing I will point out: there are some ladies who love the pink stuff,
Sure.
fair
and
enough.
if they
And-
do, go for it.
Oh, man. Yeah, exactly.
You know
for
what
sure.
I mean? So it's like, I'm not going to say, oh, you shouldn't, but I'm just going to say, like, don't expect that for every woman out there that you're going to, look at us. We're three dudes going on about this. Anyway, let's get some ladies commenting below. Share your thoughts. We'd love to hear it. Okay, topic number 3. Now we're going to move along to the meatball of the month. Meatball. Yes, that is a good thing. That's something you want. Folks, let us know what you thought about that. Okay, this one comes from, thanks to my printout, we can say it came from Jared Lovejoy. He submitted this topic, and it is, hey, Mark's facial hair. Oh, I'm sorry, and he specifically wrote, Mark facial hair or nah? Ryan, you're going to get, no.
I just want to look at the name here, Lovejoy. You don't have a more positive name than that. Maybe something you could benefit from, Ryan.
Oh.
Thanks, Mark.
Well, Ryan is going to start this round. So, Ryan, love to hear what you have to say about this topic. The 2 minutes begins now.
Mark facial hair or nah? The answer is yeah, for sure. I've known Mark a long time. I've known Mark about 8 years here. Couple things about me first. Some of us can't grow a beard. Hard as we try.
It looks great.
I have a facial mullet. Okay? This is a
good.
goatee.
That's back in fashion.
Not for me. This is the best I can do. Mark can grow a stellar beard, and he can do it in a very short amount of time. And
Point
as
for
a
Mark
as a
for being
big
able to-
give him a couple of points. As
stellar
a
beard.
big fan of Mark, and probably one of Mark's biggest fans, I can tell you with a beard, he becomes an entirely different creature. In the realm of bears, he goes from koala to polar, right? And it is absolutely
Huge.
stellar. Okay, Mark's debate on this, though, is he says, my wife doesn't like it. And you know what? I don't buy that one bit. I think his wife knows that when he's walking around with that beard, he is elevated. And in fact, her saying, Mark, you must shear your beard, is simply to eliminate the competition from even casting gaze at Mark, because he is stellar with a beard. Go ahead, Mark.
Ryan, your love of my beard is complimenting and concerning. Jim, Ryan has written letters to my wife, hopefully
have.
the only one, advocating that I keep the beard. Here's the deal. I like the beard. Ryan loves the beard. My wife hates the beard. She hates it. I rarely do anything to please my wife. That came out wrong. She hates the beard. I'm
Wife's unhappy.
indifferent about the beard, and I'll say this, the beard is seasonal.
You said you're indifferent about it?
I'm mostly indifferent.
I don't get it. He said he loves it, and then he's indifferent about it. You're losing a point for
People
just being
love
all
your
over the
beard
place.
I'm
so
being
much.
wishy-washy.
People love your beard so much they're writing in about your beard.
Frequently.
Here's what I'll say. It's not a yes or no thing anyway. It's seasonal. This is my summer cut. We're going into fall. I'll probably grow the beard back, shave it after the spring.
The summer cut comment was pretty good. But Mark, you really didn't get many points on that.
How is he at 54?
Partly because Ryan's argument was so good, and also partly because I wish the beard would come back. So, I mean, you kind of had that going against you. Jared,
I didn't say it's not coming back.
well, but where
comes
is
back
it?
periodically.
There's no evidence of it coming back. Your face is clean. It's clean like a freshly washed windshield.
And what do they say, Jim? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. When it grows back, you'll love it even more.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Yeah, but
you
then
get a
you
point. You
Thank
get a
you.
point
Can I
because
have
that could
three
be
at
true.
least? You said you were going to do more.
Are you just begging for points now?
Yes.
Better watch that talk. I might take that point away. Get what you get. You don't throw a fit. You know where I heard that?
Me.
A lot of various different parents. Okay, Jared, thanks again for that topic. You are the meatball of the month. Once again, that is actually a good title. That's something you want to be. So he's going to win some really cool stuff. And we're going to move on to topic number 4. For those of you who are just listening, I apologize. I didn't update you on the score last time. Right now, Ryan is just in a full-on rout against Mark. It is 54-31. So that's pretty huge. Topic number 4 is going to come up on the screen, guys.
God.
Now, this is one where Mark could make a huge comeback, and I'm being a lot more given with the points today. So, best hip-hop artist of all time, and you got to explain why. So Mark is going to start this round. Mark, it's time to make up some points. Begin.
Jim, this may be the toughest question we have ever asked on Spaghetti Shootout. There are so many good, great hip-hop artists out there. I mean, you've got Easy, you've got Dre, you've got Eminem, you've got Snoop, you've got Pac, and you've got Biggie. And this is just like the tip of the iceberg. But a lot of these names that I mentioned here, I mean, these are iconic names in the hip-hop realm. Not only do they have hit songs, not only are they great rappers, they've got longevity. Now, if I'm going to put one at the top of the heap, numero uno, I'm going with Biggie. I know, hey, I'm abandoning my West Coast roots. I feel like I'm betraying my people, if you will, but I got to go with Biggie. As they say today, Jim, it just hits different.
All right, Mark, you did rack up a few points. Ryan, let's hear your argument.
Well, that's a great question, Jim. Let's hear my argument. You know, I don't really know what hip hop is. Mark threw out a bunch of rappers on that one, and I thought rap and hip hop were different.
What are your thoughts on that, Mark?
I don't know. Holistic approach from this side of the table.
So are we defining rap or are we defining hip hop?
I mean, isn't this the same when I said, aren't we talking about metallic cartridges?
Ryan, you know what
I wasn't.
You know what I think you're doing, Ryan? I think you're stalling.
Okay.
So you're going to lose some
I'm going to go with
points
the
for
best
that.
hip hop artist by Mark's definition as Marshall Mathers, aka Eminem. I think that Eminem, Marshall Mathers, is the best hip hop artist, and we talk about longevity and we talk about explosive growth and not faltering. He has gone from nothing to something absolutely fantastic. He's actually quite an inspiration. Sobriety is a big thing in his life. He turned it around. He put out music that defined a generation. I remember when the Marshall Mathers EP came out. I bought it. It was great.
That's actually a pretty big deal that you would have bought that. I
got
wouldn't have pegged you for buying that.
I got it on Napster.
Did you?
Mark, that's illegal.
The FBI has been meaning to talk to you about that. You should probably lay low for a while.
I don't have that anymore.
All right. Well done. Hey, that was a fun question for those of you out there. I know some people, some people out there, oh, well, hip hop, I'm mad. It's a fun question. So hopefully,
yeah, it's a fun. I mean, there's lots of greats out there.
It is what it is.
And the one you selected is right up there at the top. I mean, it really is, Ryan.
So we'd love to hear some of your thoughts. I'm sure there will be thoughts in the comments. All right, with that being said, Mark has closed the gap a little bit, but he is not ahead, and we are moving into the final topip number 5.
This is the last one?
Oh, yeah.
I got
It goes
nervous.
by so fast.
I got nervous with hip hop.
Ryan has 54 points. You kind of had, you were stalling there for a little bit. So Mark shot up to 47. So it's a smaller deficit. Topic number 5, though, let's see what it does for us. Now, this is going to be, I'm also looking at my printout on the screen here, so I'd take points away from myself there. What's the best way to do your business, number 2, in the woods? Let's see, Ryan, you're going to start off this round. Begin.
I'm not stalling. I'm going to say I hoped we'd never get to this topic. But here we are, folks, and I'm going to tell you, the best way to expletive in the woods is to simply not expletive in the woods. Get that done ahead of time, if at all possible. Do it in camp or take a whole bunch of Imodium and prevent yourself from expletiving in the woods. If you have to do it, if the bodily function comes and says, now is the time we have to do it, here's a technique. I don't even want to say here's my technique. Here's the technique. First of all, dig a hole. No surface expletiving. We don't leave that stuff out for the critters or for people to come across. And depending if you're in an arid environment, that stuff stays there in perpetuity. It never dissolves. It never goes away. It's terrible.
Points
Dig
for
a
big words.
hole. Wet wipes are your friend. Bring a durable paper product, but one that is still biodegradable. I like shop rags, okay? This is not...
Holy mackerel, you got a big job to do.
Listen,
That's because you took all that Imodium. It's backed up for a week.
cleanliness is important.
I don't get a point for that?
We don't want
Oh,
to
that
give a
was,
point.
no, I'm sorry, Mark. I was still trying to pay
This is what I've
attention
been
to
talking
the.
about.
I was visualizing
okay,
shop
It's my turn.
rags.
Ryan is obviously afraid to you-know-what in the woods, and I find that absolutely ridiculous. Now, there are some tips that you can do if you want to alleviate getting a late start to your morning. Don't touch me. And that is, I hate to say this, but I actually, when I'm going hunting, I don't drink coffee in the morning because I don't want to get to my spot and have to do exactly that. Now, I'm going to start with a couple what not to do stories. I was a late bloomer, actually, when it comes to doing you-know-what in the woods. I didn't do it until I was 7 years old. Now, the first time I did this, Jim, I was like, holy mackerel, mission accomplished. This wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I stood up, buttoned my pants, and promptly stepped in my own excrement. Don't do that.
Big admittal.
I also know people that have been duck hunting. They roll their waders down, they go in number 2, they roll their waders back up, bang, bang, boom. Guess what? You got a tool on your back. Don't do that either. Now, Jim, I just like where I'm going with this, so I'm just going to keep going even if I lose some points.
It's audacious. We'll see what happens.
So the other thing, so the best how-to at the age of 12, I found the holy grail of doing a number 2 in the woods. It was a completely smooth, sheared off stump, perfect height, hollowed out in the middle. It was like a toilet seat in the woods. When it comes to best ways to go in the woods, though, in general, you're just going to have to pop a squat. I suggest urinating. I can speak to this from a male perspective, a biological male perspective, where it's good to go number 1 before you go number 2 so you don't pee in your own pants when you're popping a squat. Bring the wet wipes like Brian said, and go back to hunting.
Oh, I gotta figure out what I want to do with that. You were well over time, Mark. Right now, and I kid you not, folks, it's just coming down to the judge's final decision. Ryan sits at 67, Mark sits at 66, and really, do I award points for what Mark just said? It would. I know. If I awarded points, it wouldn't be just 1. It would be a 3-er. And it would put you finally into being a victor here on Spaghetti Shootout for the first time ever. Ryan, I feel like Mark really went all out for this. He wanted that win so bad. He was willing to take the time over. I'm going to give him 3 points. He's going to be ahead 69.
Yes.
Not that I actually didn't do that on purpose. You're at 69 and to Ryan's 67. Yes, please speak.
Did Mark
with a hand up.
tell us what the best way to blank in the woods
In the
was?
end, he pretty much just said, just do it and try not to get it in your own pants.
And that was a better argument than digging a hole, the equipment to utilize.
I agree with that. Oh, you know what?
No, you
Why is
said
this
a lot
going
of
over
that.
time? I had lots of others. I agree. Either dig a hole or at least cover your tracks, your proverbial tracks. You can find a big stone.
No,
a big
this
piece
is-
of
no,
rock.
stop, stop.
You've already won points. This is we're.
Oh, this is
You're
the
done.
what's
You're
this
done.
called?
Are we done? Like, did we stick up?
You
There's
can
a
have a
thing-
thought before
My-
Mark's
my
final
thought
crack.
is this.
Brian, what's the thing when the shooters complain about something though?
Arbitration.
Yeah, arbitration.
This is arbitration.
Also,
And
that
folks,
happens in
folks,
divorce.
Hey, this is
Going almost 40 seconds over.
yes.
Mark's final thought is just do it.
No, you weren't listening.
I was listening intently. I listened to you tell 2 stories at the age of 7, at the age of 12, about how and somebody who was duck hunting.
They were good stories.
None of them brought anything to the table. Anybody listening
What
to this?
not to do when you do is as important as what you should be doing.
Right.
Listen, okay, Ryan, you got more to the heart of the question. Mark got
answered.
more to the
Mr.
spirit of the question.
Let's be literal.
Hey, we'll leave it up to the viewers. If you think that I got stolen a win on this one, please comment below. I'd love to hear it.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? The viewers aren't ultimately the judge with the tablet who award the points. They can have their opinions, but ultimately, remember, folks, this is a dictatorship. I am the captain, all right?
In
so
fact.
that's how it goes. Mark, you have finally won a round of Spaghetti Shootout. You get the last crack. That is a 60-second little blurb for you to say whatever you want, uninterrupted by your opponent, Ryan here. Now, I believe if I just hit this start button, then it should give you that 60 seconds. Begin.
Boy, Jim, I gotta be honest, I didn't plan for this, but I will say it's important, and this is good advice for everybody, it's important to be a good winner, and it's also important to be a good loser. Now, when it comes to the rest of my last crack, if you will, I'm not gonna crack anymore. I'm gonna say we are on the cusp of archery seasons. If you haven't gotten a new bow, be thinking about that. You probably should have. You probably should go with your old bow right now and just start preparing for hunting season. This prep starts now. Get your gear in order, get it organized, get your time off, make those plans, do it now, because like most hunts, they sneak up on you like a mountain lion.
Mark, you're going to lose a point, so you still win, but
What
you're
the
going to
heck?
lose
Why
a
would
point
I lose
for the
a
new bow
point?
thing. The new bow thing? What is with you? Every year, Mark gets a new bow. Every year,
It's a
Mark,
process, Jim.
Mark
I hate
absolutely
it at first
kills
because I hate
himself
the
over
process.
trying to get it set up, and then ultimately what he finds is that the whole previous year spent just absolutely just like arduously setting up his old bow, which is only 330 days old.
Incorrect.
The whole
4
previous
years
year
old.
has set up the perfect bow to the point that like he should have just used that one, and ultimately he usually does. Then finally,
That did
by the
happen
next year, the new bow is ready, but he gets rid of that for the newest. It's
I told
an
you I didn't.
unbelievable cycle.
I didn't plan for this.
So you did lose a point, you still win, but now it is 68 to 67. That also takes you out of, being at 69, which
I think it's better that way.
it might be. So with that being said, everybody, hopefully you enjoyed this one. There was a couple of stumbles by Mark, and yet he still managed to pull out the victory.
I don't know.
Ryan, we expect a little bit more, I'd say a little more pizzazz is what we're looking for you on the next round, at least me.
I will take what I learned from this episode and I will bring Mark's tactic to the table.
Spruce it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But for those of you who are watching and listening, thank you so much. Don't forget that you can be the meatball of the month, like our friend Jared Lovejoy, who is going to win some really awesome stuff. Please submit topics for these two to debate. Remember, it should be a topic that can be easily kind of split into two sides that you think would be really fun for them to argue. It's not necessarily just a regular topic for an episode, though we have just gotten some good topics for regular episodes, and those you may see as well when we return to our regularly scheduled programming, which we will be doing right after this episode. Thanks again, everybody. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
You can't just touch people.
That's going to get some pre-points.
You can't.
Mark, I told you I'm going to be a lot more. I'm going to be
that's
a lot
fine.
more.
Then you also, in my opinion,
I've
need
got
to start
40 minutes.
monitoring when you take points away, because somebody can talk as long as they want, because you're just bedazzled by his intoxicating musings.
They are
Give
intoxicating.
him a point for that. That was a nice, well strung together.
We're not even on the clock.
I'm going to say that during the episode.
Fine,
That's
you'll
good.
just
I'm
start
gonna
with a
repeat
point.
that.
No one will know why.